Hello, everyone. Welcome to the DIS Unlimited Universal Show. I'm your host, Craig Williams, and I'm joined alongside by my co-host, Rhino.
Hello.
And today we are going to run you through some of the latest happenings at Universal Orlando Resort and beyond. Yes, we will, because Las Vegas has rumblings. Before we get started, I want to remind you this is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content, you want to support us, book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Costs you no extra money. You get the support of an awesome Dreams Unlimited Travel agent. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for a free, no obligation quote. Now, the big news right off the bat is that the holidays are returning to Universal Orlando. I know most people probably thought, how could they possibly come back? You know, it's why Christmas isn't being celebrated this year. So why would the holidays come back? Well, it turns out I was wrong. Christmas is being celebrated this year, and the holidays are returning. They will return on November 17th, which actually feels late. I didn't compare that to when it started the past couple of years, but I thought it was closer to like the 12th or 13th, but with Halloween Horror Nights, going well into November this year, makes sense that the holidays might have to start a little bit later, but it also works out, it kicks off on a weekend. So it's all going well. And the holidays will continue to run through December 31st, 2023. And I wish there was lots to tell you, like there's new things happening for the holidays, new parades, new shows. No, there's none of that. It's going to be basically the same holiday celebration that has happened for years and years. Like, obviously, the tribute store will be new and fresh, and I'm assuming they're going to do a new holiday themed spin on the Red Coconut Club at Universal City Walk as well, and there will be new merch and new food items, but the classics are going to be the same, and that's Universal's holiday parade featuring Macy's. That is Grinchmas in the Grinchmas Holiday Spectacular. The big stuff. The Wizarding World getting decorated for Christmas time. The Magic of Christmas at Hogwarts Castle. The nighttime projection show that happens on Hogwarts. Mannheim Steamroller is going to be returning on December 2nd, 3rd, 9th, and 10th. Inside the Wizarding World, Celestina Warbeck and the Banshees, as well as the Frog Choir, will be performing holiday tunes. I expect to see the Blues Brothers Holiday Review return, because it always comes back year after year. One of the changes, though, is to the Grinch and Friends breakfast, which that's getting a little update because it's moving to an actual restaurant. It's being relocated to Confisco Grill on select dates November 17th through December 27th. It'll cost you now $58.99 plus tax per adult and $32.99 plus tax per child, which that is awesome that it's moving to a sit-down restaurant. I hope that means it's going to be more like pick your upscale breakfast item versus buffet. I know all Rhino's worried about is, will there still be some form of green eggs and ham? I have to assume the answer is yes, but even if it's not, at least green eggs and ham is still available. Yeah.
Well, that was my question. So
that was your question.
You were right. Yeah, that was my question. So you were right.
Well, we will have to wait and find out. I mean, just because there is some sort of green eggs and ham, it also could end up being a letdown. Not that the pizza was a letdown, but like when you're expecting green eggs and ham and it doesn't deliver the full way you want it to, then there's only so much you can do. The holiday tour is going to return, Universal's holiday tour. Its select dates beginning November 19th through December 30th. The starting price $79.99 per person plus tax. You also need theme park admission with park-to-park access. The tour includes a meet and greet with the Grinch and his dog Max while enjoying small bites, desserts, and non-alcoholic beverages, reserved seating for Grinchmas Holiday Spectacular, a meet and greet photo op with Santa Claus at Universal Studios Florida, and an after-hours showing of Magic of Christmas at Hogwarts Castle in the Wizarding World. So that is an option, and the party's going to extend beyond to the hotels, Universal City Walk. There's going to be so much happening for the holidays. And you know what? I know we didn't really cover the holidays last year at Universal. That was because my child was born right before the holidays and I was on paternity leave. What child was this? It wasn't Jesus. It was Rory. Yeah. Which I believe does roughly translate to Jesus. I might be wrong on that. I'm not sure. Or it's Scottish or Irish. It's one of those. I don't know what it is. But regardless, even though we didn't cover the holidays in depth last year, the holidays really haven't changed at Universal. So you can go back to 2021. You can't go back to 2020 and see what they did, because that was a little different. But you can even jump back to 2019, 2018, and it's pretty much the same. Little stuff has changed with the Grinchmas Holiday Spectacular, but it's, Universal is consistent in that when they go all out for the holidays each year, they make sure that it is reminiscent of the years past. And I'm not using that to insult it. I think they do a great job. One thing I didn't mention, of course, it's all included in with your park ticket minus the holiday tour or the Grinch and Friends breakfast. But the special shows, the parade, that's all right in your ticket. So it's not like Disney where you have to pay extra for Jollywood Nights or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. It's all right in there. And it's cute. They refresh the food. The merchandise definitely is getting refreshed this year because Earl the squirrel found himself a girl. So that's they find ways to make it fresh while still keeping the classics around year after year. It's a great time to visit.
Yeah, well, and you already said it. I think it's great that all the events that go on there are included with your ticket, all the special happenings and stuff like that, and then you can still plus up the vacation with those other offerings like the holiday tour and the breakfast with the Grinch. So it's nice. Yeah. It's fun. I'll be interested to see what tree Earl met that lady up in, but we'll find that out later.
I mean, there are, I would assume, the big tree in Universal Studios Florida, but there's plenty of trees on property, and Earl the squirrel might get around. We don't know what happens after the park closes, but truly, I don't want to undersell Christmas at Universal because the hotels are also beautiful at this time of year, especially Portofino Bay. I'll give a shout out to that. I think that hotel is incredible during the holiday season. Royal Pacific's nice. I like their whole setup with their tree, and they have a little bit of extra holiday touches in the lobby. Cabana Bay is literally like walking through a retro Christmas that you would expect out of a 1950s or 1960s Christmas special. And, that's neat. It's really neat. And even down to, the lesser hotels, I don't want to call them lesser, just the more value hotels, you're still going to find holiday touches. And you just find some extra ones at, some of the more expensive ones, because you will see stuff like special Christmas tree lightings as well as strolling carols, people named Carol that like to sing.
Yeah, I was like, Carol Ann. She after she
stay from the
done. Stay away from the Santa, Carol Ann.
And the one thing I hope that happens this year is I really, I don't think it's going to happen, but I really enjoyed having like the Santa's Village and City Walk. Even though it wasn't like super impressive, I enjoyed that. They need to do that more. They should do it with Horror Nights. They should do it for everything. Just add in a little bit more. But, even if we just get a holiday version of the Red Coconut Club, I would be happy with that. I just feel like City Walk's the one part that kind of lacks in holiday charm. But I'll tell you what, they're getting started on it. They always get started early, and every single year, well, everyone always comments like, "It's how can they get started already?" But you'll already see garland and decorations going up in Islands of Adventure, especially at Seuss Landing. There's a lot to cover in there because that's the most decorated land of Islands of Adventure. So it's already going crazy. I was there the other day and taking photos and appreciating it all, getting the holiday spirit. But the Wizarding World, the rest of the parks, they won't be long behind. Universal Studios will just need a little extra catch up time. But Rhino, if you had one thing that you say is a don't miss for the holiday season at Universal, what would that be?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. That Macy's parade is pretty good. I like that one. And honestly, there's just something about the holiday tribute store that always does it for me. I feel like it like I love the Halloween one. And I love that they do it seasonally, but there is just something that feels. I think because like inherently with Christmas, you are shopping for gifts and trinkets and things for other people and things like that. So it makes it like extra like, okay, I don't have to feel guilty about shopping in here now. And I heard that annual pass holders are getting a preview for that, I believe, on the 9th. Yeah. So, and I think it starts at like, don't quote me on it, but somewhere around like 11 or 12. I'd say Okay, I've been quoted. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited to, like I said, I'm ready. Once Halloween Horror Nights is over, I'm ready to completely commit. And I'm, um, last year, and we never talk about it on the show a lot, they had a couple of extra like food and drink offerings throughout the park, and I feel like I remember them having like a good holiday beer that we liked that we had at like a couple of different places. Like maybe it was cranberry. Am I making that up? Didn't we
I
have a cranberry beer there one year?
Yeah, but I feel like that was the year before, unless it like released
It might
early
have been.
enough before Rory was born. But I didn't cover the holidays at all last year at Universal,
We
which
didn't
that's
even go
like
for the
bumming me out.
parade.
No, no. But I did not go over at
Hmm.
all. So all my footage that I have, I skipped a year. Everything's from 2021.
I did go by myself though. I know that because I went
Yeah.
and I tried to record the like parade or something. I remember like filming some holiday stuff, but I'm excited to see like that sort of. I feel like Universal is good at, sometimes we'll have those little like fun treats that pop up here and there. So
Yeah.
I don't know, and I am determined to meet that squirrel this year.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I've never actually had my photo with him, and I would love
Nope.
it. Yeah, I do remember a cranberry beer though, and I that had to be the year before. But I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe we did get it last year too. Maybe I did go over and snuck over at one point in time. My brain doesn't work anymore, and that's not because of a kid. That's just in general. It just doesn't work. But it's all very exciting. I would have to agree with you, specifically on Universal's Holiday Parade featuring Macy's. That's my one must do. If because that kicks off somewhere in the later evening, 5 o'clock or after. So as it gets to the darker point of December, there's something about a chilly night getting to watch that parade, see the floats, see Santa Claus, all the Universal characters. It just like it hits like you feel like this is Christmas. Nothing against Grinchmas. That's a great show, but you're sitting inside a sound stage. It's just a different feel to it. Whereas the holiday parade, you can get that feeling like, yeah, it feels like I'm watching an old time Christmas parade complete with balloons. So I don't think you can go wrong with Christmas at Universal. If you haven't checked it out before, you're heading to Disney as part of your traditions, check it out. Or you know what, commit fully to Universal. I don't think you'll be let down by it. It's a really good time. But Rhino, anything else to add in on Christmas there?
No, it's the thing about Halloween creeping in, and I'm ready to embrace it. So I'm excited. I am genuinely, I'm looking forward to it. So
No. Well, that is excellent to hear. And I don't want to throw Christmas on you without bringing in Halloween. So I feel like we need to mention last week, the week before, somewhere in there, we got an update on the Las Vegas expansion of Universal and their new year-round horror that will take place out there. They dropped the name. It's going to be Universal Horror Unleashed, which I feel is, feels like it's on par for what it's going to be. Of course, it's going to be located at Area 15 in Las Vegas. And we know there's going to be merchandise. There's going to be food.
15?
It's going to be continually updated. Say that again.
Is it 15? I don't know why in my
Area
brain.
15.
Maybe I just keep
Yeah.
calling it Area 51, but that's because that's really a place.
Yeah. I think that might be the play on it, unless it's like borders on Highway 15, which would run north and south in Las Vegas area. It's either that or it's because it's a play on Area 51. We research that while I go over the rest of this year. I do want to know, but it's it was announced earlier this year and it is still on the way. Like, it's one of those things. I kind of had a feeling that this wasn't going to be one that was announced and then just disappeared and went nowhere. You kind of worried about it with how Texas and Las Vegas popped up. It was like, well, they're releasing enough details, but it feels like they could do more. So even just getting the updated name to it and what it's going to be called, I feel like it's a great step forward. My parents are going to Las Vegas next year, and I've never been, so I'm waiting to hear what they have to say because, I know growing up with my parents, I know how I compare what I like and dislike versus what they like and dislike. So I'm excited to hear about Vegas, get a little bit more insight on that, because my first time I ever go will probably be specifically for this. No, it's not going to see
100%.
U2 at the Sphere, as much as I'm a huge fan of U2. I love it.
I like you too, but that's
Oh, I
fine.
don't. No, I don't.
But it is actually located beside Interstate 15, so I
There you go.
believe it is it's a both thing. But
Well, thank you.
yeah, I've never been to Las Vegas either, but I will definitely go for this because it's that, and then I know that like Lost Spirits is going to be out there, and they have a giant like distillery that's out there, and I've seen pictures of this Omega Mart thing that people go to. So there's a lot in that one thing. I think they're building an Area 15 here too.
Yeah.
But I don't believe obviously it will have any of the Universal stuff here, but
No.
still cool.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, I've heard there's some good bars in Las Vegas, believe it or not. But
I don't think so. I think it's a dry strip. Is it known for drinking?
It might be. I mean, the
I
one
know
thing
nothing.
I'll say is I don't gamble. So if I ever go to Las Vegas, that'll probably be the only time I gamble. But I doubt that. I'm one of those people. I think it's stupid to throw your money away on gambling. So
wait, so are you actually gambling on the idea that you might gamble? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. So the only gambling I do is when I get in the car every time and tell myself, okay, you're not going to yell at any other drivers around you today. You're just going to have a nice, comfortable drive. That's how I gamble. That's the safe kind.
Yeah, I just really need people to know the drinking thing was a joke. So
Yeah,
I'm worried that there's going to be too many comments about Rhino. People drink there all the time. You should go.
I mean, they probably didn't while Prohibition was in place, because one thing I know about Prohibition is everyone followed the rules during that time period.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I've seen The Hangover. I know what happens there.
Tigers.
Documentary.
Wrestlers. Nope, sorry. He was a boxer. He was a boxer, not a wrestler. Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Babies.
You want to give us your impersonation, or no? We're not okay with that?
No, I'm not. I don't think I'll go there. So
with Michael Scott.
I'm going to pause on that one and just say I think we're both very excited for the Las Vegas installment when we get to see that one day in the future. But the last thing I want to mention here before we do this, finish up this quick little Universal news update, it happened again a couple weeks ago, but first time that we're getting on to really talk about the news, and that is that the Islands of Adventure classic soundtrack that was only streaming on YouTube there for a little bit has finally made its way to streaming services. So you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, and Pandora, or if you're Rhino, you can just pop in the CD and play it yourself, because there was one day where we used to work for a person, and every now and then he would throw out like all his stuff on a table and be like, I don't want any of this anymore. If anyone wants it, go ahead and take it. And I never sorted through it because I'm like, I have enough junk in my life. I don't need yours too. But one of those times, Rhino actually like went through it and found a pristine copy of the Islands of Adventure soundtrack, kept it all for himself. And I've been bitter ever since that day. Like, I collect soundtracks from theme parks. It should have been mine, but that's my fault. You sleep on the junk, you miss out.
I could just burn you a copy of it,
I don't. You could burn yourself a copy and then give me the original.
And then give you the original. Okay, I can do that. I don't care. I'm not going to listen to it. I already have it in my iTunes library. Like, I already pulled it out. So
I mean, I technically have it in mine too, because I added it to my Apple Music. Yes, I don't use Spotify. I'm an Apple Music person. I'm sorry. I just prefer it. We don't need to get in any fights about it. I think there's pluses and minuses to each one of the services. If you haven't already been able to find it and put it into your library, the way to look it up is by searching for the artist. It's Universal Destinations and Experiences. And, if you type in Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, it should pop up. But like the first time I typed in Islands of Adventure, I could not find it at all. But once I started doing the different results, then it was able to pop up, and I hope it is just the first of many additions Universal Destinations and Experiences puts out there in terms of music on streaming services, because a lot of it you hear in Universal Studios Florida is just the soundtracks to the movies. Not all the time there's new music that gets put out there, but you know what, I would even like curated playlists to some of the areas in the parks or the music that they use. I'd love to see a little bit more addition in that way, but that classic soundtrack, it's good stuff. It is really good stuff. I put it on when I'm usually updating UO fan, writing articles, and that's kind of my mood music for that. Unless if it's about Jurassic Park, I put on the Jurassic Park soundtrack. If it's about Harry Potter, I put that on. But otherwise, it's usually Islands of Adventure in general. But it's good stuff. Rhino's got it. I don't.
Yeah, I do. It's right over there, actually. I know right where it is.
Oh. And the day is mine. Now I know where to go in your house to take it back. But
good luck
it'll
getting
be okay.
that drawer open.
I don't even want to assume what's in there. But Rhino, that's all I have to really talk about. Stuff that I'm excited about with Universal in the past couple weeks. Do you have anything, or should we wrap this baby up?
No, I'm good. But by the time we record another show, I believe we'll be toward the end or at the end of Halloween, or we'll have just ended. And I'm just excited to get a couple more days in and just enjoy the event there. So if you see any of us, say hello.
Yep.
Love to chat.
Absolutely. I know that both Rhino and I have very different opinions on the Halloween Horror Nights houses as we've been going back. Do. We haven't been going together really, besides like doing food, but for like houses, I go late at night by myself and then listen to music and podcasts and lines, and he goes during the day. So I feel like our paths have just like diverged even further away from each other. So we will definitely do a special episode where we talk about our final thoughts and opinions on this year's event. And we have, of course, holiday coverage to look forward to, a lot to look forward to, closing out Universal in 2023. But right now we're going to close out this show. So that's going to do it for our Universal show today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support us more, book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Get a free no obligation quote today at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. If you were watching this on YouTube, go ahead, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave comments, questions, video suggestions in the comments section. If you were listening to this, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you can leave us a rating and review, that would be excellent. But thank you so much, Rhino, for having this conversation with me.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and thank you everyone out there for listening and watching. We truly can only do it because of your support, so thank you so much. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Universal Show. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next time we're here talking Universal Orlando Resort. Take care, bye-bye, and remember, we finally changed the name.